everybody, welcome back to I'll Read What She's Reading. I'm Reggie.
I'm Mikayla.
And I'm Kennedy.
Today we are talking about our February book club book, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, or Poston. We don't know which it is, but we're excited to chat with you guys about the book. But before we begin, our March book club book.
Oh!
Are you ready?
Drum roll!
Is Bride by Allie Hazelwood.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
I've heard so many mixed things about it the more that this book has been out, that I'm just very intrigued to read it, to see. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks about certain things, and I'm just like, what is this supposed to mean?
The knot? Have you guys seen the thing about the knot?
No.
Yeah.
Something about some knot. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think it's something you don't want to look up. Maybe
Yeah.
I would maybe check the trigger warning. Check the trigger warnings before you read it.
Is there trigger warnings for
I don't
it?
know.
I don't know.
I just feel like that's one thing. I don't know what that means. But I don't know. We'll see.
I guess we'll find out, right?
Does anyone want to give like a synopsis
It's
of it?
about
like,
a vampire, right? And I'm pretty sure it's an arranged marriage trope.
Ooh.
with a vampire.
Vampire
I think.
and I think it's werewolf?
Because I was at a bookstore and I opened up, maybe I'm making this up, maybe this is a different book, but I swear I opened it up because I was going to buy it. And at the beginning of every chapter, you get his thoughts about her. And the beginning of the chapter said something about being married to her or something about an arranged marriage.
Okay.
Let me double check to
Sign
make
me
sure
up.
that's true.
Yeah, I know that.
Is it an arranged marriage?
Not arranged marriage, but I don't know that for sure. But I do know that each chapter starts off with what he's thinking about her or something.
Anyways, we're kind of going into the dark about this book.
Yes, it's an arranged marriage. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
yes.
no, it's okay. I'm glad. I'm excited. I like going into books not knowing anything. I've read all of Allie Hazelwood's books, and from what it sounds like, this is very different from all of her other books, which is surprising because most of her books, if you guys don't know, are based in STEM. Like woman in STEM is usually like the main character of the book. And I think they're really fun. Cute little romance books. She's got lots of different tropes, fake dating, enemies to lovers, or I guess rivals to lovers. I'm excited to read this one because this is the only book I haven't read so far. So
I haven't read any of hers.
I just
I'm in for a treat.
listened to The Love Hypothesis, and it was good. And then I'm listening to Love on the Brain right now.
yes.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that if you are a fantasy romance reader, you might not like it as much. But if you're a romance person, so basically if you read a lot of fantasy books, you might not like it as much. But if you read a lot of romance books, you'll like it because it adds in just a few elements of fantasy.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
I'm intrigued, and I'm excited to read it and discuss it with you guys.
Same.
At the end of this month. So,
Same.
all right. Should we get into the 7-year slip? Oh, we're starting
Starting it off with our
strong.
rating.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go first, Mikayla.
I think I rated it 4 stars out of 5.
So did I.
I would give it like a 3.75.
Okay.
So here's the thing, you guys. Those of you listening, I read this in September of last year. So how many months is that? Only 5 months. I don't remember much, but I refreshed my brain. But 4 stars from me.
Yeah. I really liked it. I listened to it on audiobook, and I really was I was set on having the mindset that I wasn't going to like it because it's such an interesting concept for a romance book. But I actually really enjoyed it. It kind of left me on the edge of my seat. I really wanted to know how things were going to end up. I was convinced they weren't going to end up together. I don't know why. And I was like, this is going to destroy me.
I think it would make such a great movie. Just
think
the
so
premise of going back
too.
and forth. I just think that there's a few old rom-coms back in early 2000s that kind of had not a similar vibe, but almost. And I think it would do so well as a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of like, it has just that little magic
Yeah,
element to it that makes it different than any other rom-com that you read. So
like
that's
the
one
magical
reason why I
realism.
really liked it. Yeah.
Well, and I think she only has 2 books out, right? The Dead Romantics and this one. I think from what I've
I'm
seen on
not sure.
Goodreads. But both of them have that magical realism element where there's some type of, I don't want to use the word paranormal and I don't want to use sci-fi, but some type of magical element.
I think it's classified as magical realism.
Yeah.
For this one, and her Dead Romantics is paranormal romance.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
I liked this book more than her other one,
Same.
personally. So
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but I'd be down to listen to it.
Yeah.
it's meh.
So,
It's okay.
This one's better.
I was hungry the entire time reading, like listening to this book, and I was like, I want to be able to. I think with this book, it should come with taste testing.
A recipe book.
Yeah.
scratch and sniff.
Yeah. Scratch and sniff.
Yeah, that'd be fun for me.
Because I was wanting to taste that lemon. Was it what? Yeah, but he deconstructed
Mm-hmm.
lemon pie.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I'm a sucker for some like lemon pie. Ooh, yes,
This book made me want to cook more.
yeah, but I can't.
Me neither. It made me wish my husband could cook.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You're lucky, Reggie.
My husband can cook.
in the last few
One of my
episodes,
biggest flexes.
flexes.
Flexi. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
Oh, you just mentioned. I think it was on our Valentine's. No,
Oh, maybe it was our Get to Know Us.
Get to Know Us episode. She bragged about her husband being able to cook. So
And he loves it, which is great. It's not just that he's good at it, but he wants to. I start making like, I'm just someone who I am fine if I have a night where I'm like, I'm just gonna eat a bowl of cereal for dinner, and he's like, no, let me whip up. He's like a trad husband right now.
that sounds exactly like
Your husband is like Iman.
Ewan.
Ewan, my bad. Ewan.
I guess he did say that you can have a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, and then he was like, made with fresh. He made it with fresh bread.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. Like, what do you want to eat? She's like, a peanut butter and jelly. I'm like,
But
okay.
I feel like he also made. What am I trying to say? He made it seem like the way he describes stuff is having a good relationship with food.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the food specifically, it's about the experiences you have. And I thought that was just such a cool concept. I was like, that's just so cool. I'm not usually a person that is like, whenever they talk about food and go into too much detail, I'm always like, all right, like get to the point. But this book, I couldn't get enough of the way he described it.
Well, I think one of my favorite parts was he almost talked about food, kind of what you were saying, as an event. It was almost an event to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about the relationships you build around food with other people, and almost as if food is a labor of love. And that's how he shows his love, I feel, almost.
Mm-hmm.
His love language is food. And that was one of my favorite parts of just talking about food in such a different way than how you normally think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because food is like a big part of our lives.
True.
It really is. We couldn't survive without it. So,
And us
yeah, I
foodies.
like the way he talked about it, too.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole reason he wanted to be a chef was because of his dad, right?
Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
So to him, you know, it's just such a big part of his life and such a sentimental part,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool.
Ooh. It like made me want to go to culinary school, but not at the same time.
I think it would be so fun. It would be really stressful. But
Oh.
I've been seeing like TikToks of some people that like randomly they'll pop up on my For You page, people that are in culinary school like vlogging their day and it's just so cool to see. It'd
I
be
love
really
it.
fun to do that just for the knowledge, but you know.
Maybe we'll do a cooking vlog day and try to recreate recipes from
You want to know what we should
That would
do?
be
books.
fun.
I bet you somewhere on the internet, someone has, or I'd be surprised if Ashley, the author, doesn't have a recipe for that deconstructed lemon pie. I bet you anything there's something on the internet with regards to that lemon pie.
a labor of love.
We
to
should make it.
that. All right.
I'm Googling
Should we
it.
talk about? Oh, thanks, Reggie. Should we talk about our favorite parts?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into the book itself. I'm trying to think. I think my favorite part was when she realized who he was, and we as readers also like realized who it was. Meaning she realized that she was the one who she ran into him at that restaurant when he was bringing out the dessert. I was like screaming. I was like, ah, that's him. He's there. And also her trying to like stalk him. How funny was that whole thing, because it's so true and realistic. So it's just like I was trying to find anything about him and
Stalking him online.
yeah. It was so good. I loved it.
And then the little. Did he just say "good to see you again, Lemon"? Or
Yeah,
what did
or I
say?
think he said like, yeah, I think he said "good to see you, Lemon."
Ooh, and he like whispers it as she walks by.
Oh my gosh, I was obsessed with that man. Feed me food and cook me food. I'm yours.
Well, and the southern accent, the way she even just described it, because he's got lots of tattoos, fairly like muscly.
That just
So-
reminded me of that part where she's like
He has a
counting
tat-
all of his tattoos.
And he has a tattoo of a lemon, doesn't he?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie,
Or did I
that
make
I
that
thought that
up?
was a little weird.
Her counting the tattoos.
No, I thought it was weird that he had a lemon tattoo on his body. I'm not gonna lie.
I
thought
don't think
a little
that was weird.
I just thought it was weird because it was like he met her and then he's like, maybe I'll see her again in 7 years, but maybe I won't.
But he also had a relationship with that lemon pie.
Yeah.
Because of his
mhm.
That's
uncle.
true.
But also you think about it, and it almost would be, think about any really influential person in your life. You would want to get a tattoo for, like, she influenced him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it was something that you would maybe do like once you get back
Together.
and not like, I don't know. I thought it was like just a little bit weird, but it was also cute.
I mean, but at the same time, he knew that she would be in love with him 7 years later. So
You want to know? That's true. You want to know what I thought the weirdest part was? Her getting with him in the past, and the next day, him being like, "You slept with him, didn't you?" And she's like, "Yeah."
oh, I never even thought about that.
And he was like, "You're torturing me," and like that's weird to think about, because it's been 7 years
Since
for
that-
him,
yeah.
but it has literally been a night for her. I'm like, that. How crazy is that?
Yeah,
couldn't
I was getting a
imagine.
little confused. I had to like pause a few times and really think about, okay, wait. the timeline difference,
yeah.
like timeline of things. But
It's so funny that he like knew, because he like confronted her about it. And I was like, I would feel so uncomfortable. Yeah, I slept with your past self just last night, but here you are 7 years later. I just that was really interesting to me. I still kind of liked it because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But
Did we ever get his point of view?
no,
I will say that was the one thing that I think I would have liked more about this book if it had his point of view in it. But then I don't know if it would have ruined certain aspects of the book. But I just feel like a lot of the romance books I've read recently, it's a dual point of view. And I sometimes enjoy that a little bit more.
I think it could be a fun, maybe she writes another book where it's in his point of view, or it could have been cool to have. I honestly love when the epilogue is from the guy's perspective. almost. So that could have been fun.
That's true.
Yeah, I was wishing for his perspective the whole time. But I think it kind of kept us guessing.
Yeah.
Which was probably a big point of the story. So
I think sometimes too, when you get multiple point of views in romance novels, that's when you get really frustrated. And I think that's when you can see more miscommunication, because you see both of their point of views. You know they both have feelings for each other. Why don't they just be together? But when you only get one, it makes it feel a little bit more authentic and less miscommunication-y.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that sometimes more.
I also have another thing to kind of add. This is not my favorite part, but after the first time she exited her apartment and she tried to go back in and he wasn't there, I was convinced that like that was the last time she was going to see his past self, and she was going to have to find the future self. But it makes sense. Like, it would have been interesting if that was like the last time and then she found him, but I feel like the storyline wouldn't have worked as well, because then she told him about, can you imagine someone telling you, I am 7 years in the future and this apartment is magical? Can you imagine? Like,
I would ask them if they need help.
I just couldn't imagine. The conversation was a little bit, I feel like she just said like, I explained the apartment instead of us getting the conversation of being like, okay, what? I don't know. I just thought it's just very interesting to me. It's such an interesting story, because we don't get a lot of romance books that are like this.
yeah.
With the magical realism.
I was gonna say, did you guys read/listen to the author's note at the end?
Okay, I was just gonna ask you guys about this, because when I was going back to refresh my memory on this book, someone mentioned the author's note, but I didn't ever listen to it.
I thought it was, did you listen to it?
I can't remember.
It was really cute. Basically, Ashley, that's her name, right? Ashley. She kind of, it was just very beautifully written. So the way I'm going to explain what she said is not, I'm not going to articulate it well. But basically, she wrote the book, and then she decided she kind of wanted to start over and redo some things because her grandpa passed away. And her grandpa passed away, and she understood grief a lot more, so she wanted to change a few things in the book based off of her experience with her grandfather. And so she basically rewrote the book in a way, or changed it. And what was really cool is she was saying how books okay, I'm trying to, you guys will just have to read it. But she says how, you know, before I write the last period at the end of a book, like, I'm a totally different person than I was when I wrote the first one.
Oh, yes. I love
and
it.
so she was saying, when I finished that first draft, or final draft of what she thought it was, she's like, I wasn't the same person anymore. And so I needed, even though I still wasn't going to be the same person after I finished it again, I needed to go and add that, like, part of me to the rewrite of the book or whatever. I don't know, the way she wrote it was really, really cute. I almost loved I read the epilogue, was cute, and then I started listening to the author's note, and I was just like, this is so beautifully put. And so I really enjoyed that part of the book, even though it wasn't the story of but yeah,
I really need to start reading the acknowledgments and the author's notes after the book ends, because sometimes what you were saying, there's been a few books, I can't remember which books it was that I've read, I appreciated the book more after you read the author's note, because you can just kind of see what the author was going through, and you wouldn't have that perspective if you don't read that.
Oh, I loved her parents. I feel like you hear in a lot of books, what are you doing with your life? And I loved it when she was like, I quit my job. Her parents were like, woohoo, like, way to go.
Yeah,
I
like supportive parents.
Yeah, supportive parents. Because I just feel like in a lot of romance books, you kind of get the, like, it's your dream. And it's like, no, Mom, it's your dream kind of thing. You know what I mean? It feels very Disney Channel. So anyways, I really liked when her mom, like, grabs her face and she's like, you quit your job? And then she's like, that's amazing. I just thought it was really cool.
That was really sweet.
I also really liked how sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Her interests and like his interests kind of came together, and their talents. I thought it was like a really interesting job that she had. It was fun to hear how that was playing out.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to me.
I also, last thing, sorry. I guess there's a lot of favorites. I really also liked the museum scene, how she goes to this museum and looks at the Picasso paintings
on her birthday.
on her birthday, and he showed up. Love that man. It was just really cute.
The self-control that guy had for 7 years.
For real.
That's so romantic.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But he did date other women. It's just not like you waited.
And she was grateful for them.
That's true.
She was grateful for that.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was just a fun, different read.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, maybe I should give it 4 stars. Or not loves, or dislikes. The first thing off the bat, I will say, is I was like, this girl is in love with her aunt. And it also drove me a little bit crazy how she referred to her as her aunt the entire time. I'm like, I didn't know until like halfway through the book what her aunt's name actually was. I just felt like every other word was like her aunt, or my aunt, my aunt, my aunt. And I'm like, what's your aunt's name? She was a little obsessed with her. And I could see why. I mean, her aunt seemed like really cool. I wanted a little bit more understanding of their relationship. And I know we kind of got that, but it just, I wasn't feeling this attachment to her aunt as much as I was thinking I would. I don't know.
I wish she would have done like a longer monologue explaining her relationship with her aunt, and then kind of leaving it at that and not having to mention her so much. I feel like it was almost in every chapter, like, the apartment reminds her of her aunt. My aunt's apartment. No, it's my apartment. Aunt's apartment. It just felt a little repetitive with the aunt stuff, which I understand she was also grieving, but I almost wish we didn't get as much of her aunt. Just her aunt.
Part of me wonders if that's what she went back and redid, and maybe added more of that in after
Maybe.
the fact, because she did understand grieving a little bit more. I don't know. I'm trying to remember why I didn't rate this 5 stars, because I can't think in my brain something that I immediately think of that I didn't like. I think it was just more so of, it's probably not something I'm dying to read again. I really enjoyed it and it was so fun and I would recommend it to people, but it's not something that, like I said, I'm dying to read again. I feel like 5 stars has to be something that I love so much I'd read again.
Like, wowed you.
Yeah.
Like, beyond belief.
Yeah. Cool premise. Really cool romance story. Just not anything that blew my socks off, per se.
Yeah, I can agree.
I'm trying to think of things I don't like.
Okay, we thought of some questions to ask each other in relation to the book, kind of. Kennedy, you want to go first?
My question is, so Ewan obviously has his lemon pie and whatever, the recipe brought down from his family, whatever. And there is a monologue where he talks about food can remind you of a friend, a family member, someone that's passed on, whatever. Is there a food that you guys have in your family, or even a childhood thing that you used to eat that, let's do this. Is there a food that takes you back to your childhood and just reminds you of good times, or a family member, anything like that?
Yes.
You go.
My grandma has a famous chocolate chip cookie recipe, and everyone in my family uses it. And there's even, like, we gifted her for Christmas one year, like, a little plaque that's in her kitchen with her recipe on it. My grandma was, I can't remember what year it was in the 70s. She was awarded, like, homemaker of the year.
Wow.
And she has, like, her cookie recipe was printed in, like, a magazine or something.
Wow.
Really cool. Anyways, and so anytime I make any sort of chocolate chip cookies, I have to compare them to my grandma's. And it's the best cookie dough too. Like, I make any other cookies and I'm like, they could be good cookies once they're baked, but nothing beats the cookie dough of my grandma's. So I literally can't eat a chocolate chip cookie without thinking of my grandma. And we would make them at her house all the time. I just remember asking as a kid, like, can we make cookies? And she was always like, yeah. So just, like, sitting in her kitchen making those. It's good, ma'am. And chocolate chip cookies, I've been craving them so badly.
Make me crave chocolate chip cookies now.
Yeah, seriously. Do you have one, Mikayla?
Yes. My mom makes the best caramel popcorn ever. She's made it since I was little, and she's showed me the recipe before and given it to me, but it's not as good. I can't make it as good as her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I've done exactly everything, and it's just not as good as my mom makes her caramel popcorn. Everyone craves it.
You know what the secret ingredient is?
Love.
A mother's love.
A mother's love. Yeah. She doesn't give it out either. She doesn't give out her recipe.
Oh,
Love
it. Stingy. I like it.
She is, and everyone is always like mouth watering anytime you can smell the caramel popcorn whenever she's making it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably the thing I remember most from childhood is caramel popcorn.
Yum.
It's so good.
Mine is a sugar cookie. And literally my great grandma made them the best. And ever since she's passed away, nobody can make them like her. It's the sugar cookie with this royal icing on top, but it's so good. And I think about them all the time. Whenever I eat a sugar cookie, I think about them, and I'm like, this isn't as good as Grandma Cannon's, but whatever. So it's just funny how food or taste, or just taste is such a huge sense, and it can take you back to little moments. Or even, I don't know if you guys think about this, but certain restaurants just remind me of my husband, because when you're dating and things, food is such a big part of relationships, and I wouldn't have thought about that before this book. So very cool.
Yeah.
Right. My question is, do you guys have a comfort food or meal?
All food.
I think this is so stupid.
Chips are my comfort food. 100%.
I don't think that's.
I love chips.
I would say mine's chips and salsa.
Yeah, I was thinking either chips and salsa, or like lately for me it's been like fresh bread with some butter on it.
Bread rolls.
Texas Roadhouse rolls. Maddox. Cornbread.
Sorry. Cinnamon rolls. Hoagie rolls. All the rolls. We like them all.
All the rolls.
All the carbs, all the bread.
Also bread too, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fresh bread with butter.
Ooh. We're going to make all of you craving all the things while you're listening to this episode. My question.
Okay.
Oh, did everyone answer?
Yeah.
My question is, if you could walk into your front door and go back a certain year in time, and every time you walked in, it was like a different, you know what I mean? What year would it be? I think it would be hard because, like, for example, all of us haven't been in our current places we live for long enough for it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you were to, like, walk in your a house and it was a different place.
What if you say, like,
house?
New York? Is that where it's based out of? That's the book is based. So like, if we lived in New York and every time you walked into your apartment, is that a better way to phrase it? Because New York has been there forever. If that makes sense.
Or are you just asking,
I'm just saying,
what
like,
year in your life could you go back to?
Yeah, every time.
In our life?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm stupid. Sorry.
No, you're not stupid.
I thought you were saying, like,
I wasn't
time
sure how to,
and
like,
place.
articulate that. 'Cause
Okay.
for her, it's like she sometimes walks in and it's 7 years in the past. You know, if you walked into your house, if you had to pick a year that you could go back to
Ooh.
and experience every once in a while.
Probably my wedding year. Like, the year I got
Honeymoon
married.
stage?
The year I got married. Maybe because then I would tell myself, change a few things.
Yeah.
But just kidding, because that was the year 2020.
That's hard.
I know. A part of me wants to say the first year I was married, just because we were so young and there's just so many things fond memories that I look back on. It would be fun to go back and revisit that. But then another part of me is like, I'd almost want to go back to when I was almost a kid. But I don't know. But I have to be my same age.
That's what I was going to ask. Do I have to be how old I am now?
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. It's very tricky. I don't think I can even answer it myself.
If I could go back in time and be the age that I am in the time that I could go back in, I would probably choose my senior year of high school, only for the fact of, you don't have responsibilities. You're just kind of running around. And I think it would be so much fun to date my husband again in high school.
Yeah.
I just think that would be
That was
the
my
time.
I'd probably pick
other
2017.
answer. Yeah. I would probably pick when Cole and I started dating. Just even if I could just, the thing is, I don't know if he would fall in love. I mean, I don't know. I was a different person. I'm still like the same self, but
You change.
you change.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if it was like after we met, because I don't want to have to do like the initial like to put myself out there and make him like me, because that would be difficult. I'd be like, so I already know I love you. Will you like me back?
Well, I mean, that's how Ewan was when he met her again.
That's
Yeah.
true. He is the prime example.
100%. Just such I mean, we've said this 500 times, but genuinely, it's such a cool concept. When you read the synopsis, you think, I don't know if this is going to be for me. I remember when I originally listened to it, I was thinking, I don't know if this is going to be for me. This sounds freaking weird in a romance novel. 7 years it just sounds weird, but it's so cool and unique.
Yeah, I liked how everything came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
In
think
the end.
most people rate it pretty highly because it's unique, and just the end where they basically, anyway.
Yeah.
She did it well.
Well
For sure.
done.
Congrats, Ashley.
We have a fan cast that we kind of came up with together. So we're just going to read that to you guys, because I feel like the past few book club books we've done, we haven't really had much of a fan cast. Not that I don't know.
The Ewan is good. Ewan is 10 out of 10.
Good.
If this is adapted into a movie, he needs to be cast. Imagine tattoos. Yeah.
I'm
Should
trying
we
to
just
picture
say
the
this
hair
first?
on him.
Yeah. Let's say him first. Or should we say him first? We won't be mean and string it out.
Callum Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Callum Turner.
Now, for
the
those,
voice that man has.
say some things he's been in to refresh my mind. I know who he is, but
He hasn't really starred.
The Boys in the Boat.
yeah.
Masters of the Air. Secrets of Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
Emma. I do not remember him in Emma.
Been going viral on TikTok lately.
I think he hasn't been in a lot that has done well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's hitting his big break right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna
And
pull up a video of his voice.
oh, hey, my name's Callum Turner.
Wait, he's not in Dune. I'm thinking of a different guy.
You're thinking of Austin Butler.
No.
No.
No, there's another guy. No, he in a movie with Austin Butler.
Yeah, Boys in the Boat.
No, it's Masters of the Air.
Okay,
Or
that's
Masters-
what I'm thinking of, the interview where Austin Butler
Where they're
goes
together.
He goes, "My name's Austin Butler," and then it goes to Callum, and he goes, "My name's Callum Turner." Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is just the thirst trap video. Hold on.
Not the. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, picture a little more southern.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more so.
Love it. Add some tattoos. We're sold.
Oh, I'm just obsessed
That's
with
my
that man. We also cast him. Well, I cast him in One Dark Window.
Elm.
Yeah, as
I like him better as Ewan.
I think better as you want to, but I mean, I just would like to see him in everything. So
Yeah. All right. Should we say Clementine? I don't know if you guys are gonna agree with me, but I said Zoe Dutch.
Dutch. I think it's Dutch.
This
I
is
think
what
she'd
she
be
looks
good.
like.
Yeah.
I think she could just. I think she's been in a few rom-coms.
I think she'd be great.
And I think
it's
she
in
would do
her
good.
lane for sure, in her wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Her and Callum would make a cute couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
I also just see her as being a fancy pants and and
Mhm.
also she just seems like the type of person that would give off assistant vibes, but
Corporate
then,
girly.
and then the boss is like, you're taking over for me, and she's like, okay. I don't know why, I just have such a vivid imagination of that.
I think it works.
Her aunt. Okay. I for her aunt, Courtney Cox. I like
Mhm.
it. I don't know. I feel
too.
like it was hard to envision what her aunt would be, but she needs to be someone who has kind of like a timeless look.
Mm-hmm.
Could
some spunk.
could be the fun single aunt that travels the world and takes you with her. I feel like there's a lot of actresses that could fulfill that role really well.
Mhm.
But I don't know, Courtney Cox.
And those two kind of look like they could maybe be related.
Yeah, I feel like
I like it.
that was the hardest part.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that I could see doing this role well, like the roles.
I could genuinely see this becoming a movie in 5 years. Give it a few years, and I think it's going to just be, it's pretty popular, but I think it could be a very popular book even in 5 years, and then it's just going to get picked up.
Also, what about that guy from The Longest Ride?
I was picturing him for a while just because of the Southern boy.
He could do well too.
Yeah, he would do. I can't picture him with like
Scott
longer hair.
Eastwood.
Doesn't he have pretty short hair in a lot of his
I
pictures?
still think Callum Turner is, as soon as you said that, Mikayla, I thought that is him. That is him.
Yeah. Callum Turner.
Yep.
We
That's
love
all
that
we
man.
really have.
Yummy like lemon pie.
Yes.
Feed me
That's
some
the only-
lemon pie, Callum Turner. Just kidding.
Well, that's the only people we casted.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot more people that it was just hard to come up with people.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this book. It's always so fun for us to see you guys tagging us in your stories when you're reading like our book club books. It just feels really great. Also, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we have it a little more set up, but a lot of you have requested that we create a Fable book club group because we do have a Discord, but we've kind of been neglecting it, and a lot of you are saying Fable, and I started creating an account and it looks really fun. So hopefully we can have it set up for our March book club book, and you guys can join us on Fable. I'm saying this on the podcast, so I hold myself accountable and make sure I get it set up. But yeah, it's just really fun to connect with you guys and hear your thoughts and all the things on the books that we are reading. And
Can we talk about merch for a second?
ooh, yeah, we can.
Okay, so we have one design finalized right now. We're waiting for one more, but new merch is going to be coming out in the next, what would you say, month and a half?
Yeah, sometime this spring.
So get excited. We are very stoked about this first design that we have. It's so unique. There's nothing like it out there, and we think you guys are going to be obsessed.
I can't wait to see it in person.
Yeah.
It's
so
going to be
fun.
way fun.
And if you haven't seen our stories, no, this is not SJM merch. We're
still waiting.
We're still waiting. We're still really excited about it, and hopefully soon we hear back from her. Especially now that maybe House of Flame and Shadow is chilled out a little bit, so crossing our fingers. You guys send good vibes out there that we hear back from her, because we really want to be able to, like, the designs, you guys are so epic, and we took so long to like come up with them and finalize them, and so
Even my mom wants one, and she doesn't even read these books.
And here's the thing. Once again, our goal with our merch is to always give you guys something that's not already out there, or something that's unique. And I have never seen anybody do what we want to do.
yeah.
I'm giddy.
Yeah, me too.
So if you guys have any connections to Sarah J. Maas or her team, please let us know, because we've been waiting since November.
Yep.
Even a little longer, honestly. I mean,
But-
that's when we had the designs finalized.
We talked about this on our stories. We really want to make sure we do it right. We want to make sure Sarah gets the credit where credit is due, and we just really want it to be licensed. We could just release it because we have the designs ready. It's all ready to go. We're just waiting, and we want to make sure
Yeah.
we do it right. So
Honesty is the best policy. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. And send prayers that this is the last episode I have to record while I am pregnant. The end. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.